Welcome, everyone, to today's webinar. We are talking about the GT Reader. This is a demo on our AI content creation powered by learning science. A quick note about the speakers that you'll hear from today. I'm Rob Thomas, Director of Professional Services here at Gutenberg Technology, and I'm joined by Roman, who is our Head of Product at GT and an expert in all things about our new reader. So wanted to give a quick introduction to what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with a little bit about why we've redesigned GT's white label web reader, uh, what opportunities we believe that we'll be seeing from that and bringing to our customers, and some of the pillars behind the design, and then we'll go into an actual demo of the reader in a live environment using one of our partners, Labyrinth Learning's content. So you'll be able to see the content as it exists for learners. So first, why? Why did we make changes to our web reader? So we did a competitive analysis across not only all the readers that were not only all the readers, but also edutainment companies that are providing different versions of learning experiences, different content delivery systems, really the best in class. And what we found was that users were responding to clean UI. They were responding to app-like responsivity. So while not necessarily needing it to be an app, they expect the mobile browser experience to act like an app. And we wanted to make sure that these were fully responsible. The content, once designed, was able to be used by everybody across all devices, and uh, using modern libraries, updating our tech stack to make sure that we stay WCAG double A compliant and aligned the whole time. So we really wanted to create a foundation that enabled us to move further, faster for more people, to be able to deliver excellent learning experiences across the board. And on top of this, we've created a system that is AI ready and extensible so that we can plug in new tools as they become available, as they become ready to engage with content in a secure way. We're able to leverage some of those new AI adaptations. So very clear from the market students, from study groups, from focus groups that we've done. We've gotten very clear signs that we're on the right track. Accessibility is absolutely required. That content needs to be the primary focus. So many of the reader navigation systems that we looked at, and even some of the ones that we had developed in the past, were more like a folder structure or a system on top of the content where you had to decide where you wanted to go before the content was even revealed. So one of our design pillars that we'll talk about in a minute is read. It is the most important thing to make sure that the content remains at focus at all times, and you can continue to use that. So the opportunity gap, exactly what we believe that this empowers us to deliver, is a stronger foundation for AI-driven study tools, continuous innovation, accessibility at the beginning, app-like features, and content being the most important and the king of what we're designing. And so our pillars, in order to facilitate this, what we've created is North Stars of read, browse, and learn. And so every feature that we talk about and every experience that you see in our demo focuses back onto one of those, making sure that you can read content, you can interact with content, that it's always at the forefront of your experience, that you can quickly move through the amount of content available to you, finding, so searching out what is important, searching what you had previously seen, being able to navigate quickly to what you've already found, and then learning, making sure that we are facilitating interactions, we are facilitating learning opportunities, we are facilitating practice that allows students and learners not just to take the content in passively, but take it in actively on any device. And that is a lot. That is the end of the slide deck here. So I'm going to switch over to our actual demo. Is there anything, Ramon, that you wanted to add in for context before we look at the courses or the content in line?
Thanks for the entire introduction. So yeah, I just want to restate that our main motivation is enhancing the user experience. And the three pillars that Rob just mentioned is actually our path for everything that we have built and that we will be building with our users. Here as you can see, the content is king. We've got clean navigation. The main focus is on the content. Every elements that actually the user can trigger are nicely attached to what we call the bone of the web reader on the left side. You have the ability to get access to the entire structure of the content and be able to search through the TOC and not only within the content. This is actually super interesting when you have actually a large project, a large product with a ton of pages. You can access also from if you go to the recent on the recent tab, sorry, here you get access to your entire history of navigation. Because we know that in the learning path, actually, you can move from different pages or chapters while you are moving forward, and we keep you aligned with your path. And this path is actually also shared across the mobile apps that you might have. So you will retrieve the same experience everywhere you are. You can search deeply into the content, and we are also bringing new advanced research capabilities in the upcoming December release. But you'll be able to search through the content, also through content that are hidden. This is something that is coming in December. So, for example, you have content hidden within carousels or accordions, etc. Will be able to spot directly where the content is, and then you'll be able to get access to that information. And you can, of course, in that search area, nicely switch between the content and the annotation, so that actually you are always paired with what you see. Maybe we can get access to a little bit to the notebook here. So here you can access to all the annotation that you've done on all the pages. You have a way to edit them, to preview them, and also if you want to export them in a printable format. So it exports a PDF where you can then print and add the side notes on your site. You can filter through highlights, notes, colors, etc., and sort them through depending on what you're looking at. We have also some accessibility. So accessibility is key. We make sure that the entire interface is completely accessible from end to end. So keyboard control, ARIA labels, etc. And we provide also some assistive technology like content resize, changing the text style, display alternative text for media. And we have also some integrations with some voiceover capabilities. And if you're interested, we can definitely talk about that later on. Maybe let's switch to another type of content. So here we've seen actually a courseware type of product, but you want to make sure that you can see also legacy content like PDF, where actually all the same inform capabilities are available. So extensive, so note taking. If you go to the TOC, you will see that the entire TOC is well described, and you can navigate through that. You can identify which page each sections are you are. And same as the previous experience, you can go through the different your historic of navigations and so on. Maybe if you want to take a step back and maybe have a look at Labyrinth Learning content. Uh,
Let's look at some real content in line. So here in the same way, we've got the content is king. So we've got all of those same features available. You'll notice that every time that we've made navigated, that this particular page where we're displaying the content has never left. So there's no moment where you don't have that screen. And so I can pull this back a little bit, show that we've designed it to be a responsive, so it works on mobile. As a mobile browser, you're able to see exactly what that experience is going to be. And we've moved those same objects down to the bottom here. So I'm able to search the entire page. That pulls this up. I can see my notebook. And so this pulls up onto that same screen. I did not make any highlights here, so I can add a note. Note. And so my notebook pulls up onto the screen and I'm able to see exactly what is available and interact with all of the content still. And uh, uh, I've got these interaction points. So if I want to make this image full screen, I can make that image full screen here as well. So I'll pull that back out so we can see the whole thing, and you see that we've navigated over. A couple of the other features that we've added in is the ability to print from these various pages. So you have this little print icon, so you can print up to a certain number of pages for study or for delivering to learners. So you've got the opportunity there to interact with the content in different ways, making this very easy. I've got an ability to bookmark any page, and then that bookmark comes back to my notebook. So we've talked about read, we've talked about explore, and then learn. Some of the ways that we've made learn more accessible is like we showed with that notebook. You've got the ability to see your notes, and so we know when you're working with content and you're preparing for whatever your assessment is at the end or whatever your validation or the outcome of learning that you want to do, we want to turn these into study tools. So by making my notes, being able to add my highlights, being able to add in my notes to the notebook, say note two here, I am creating my study tool. And so I'm creating the ability to uh, navigate through and understand exactly what those are. So what's on the current page, what's on all my pages, print those out. I can filter between my highlights and notes, and I can organize this. Let's say my oldest, so the notes that I've looked at the least recently, I can jump to that, and we've made that page, it jumps to exactly where that note was. So you've got the ability as a student with your bookmarks, with your notebooks, with your highlights, as you interact with the content, you're not just interacting for interaction's sake, you're not highlighting to highlight, you're actually creating the learning tools and the study guides that will assist you later on. And that is what we wanted to make sure that we had covered as far as the demo. So I'll open up our Q&A panel and take a look at some of those questions. We've got about 12 minutes left to talk about things that are important specifically uh, for you.
Yeah, I think there is one question from Oscar. Um, so yeah, this specific content has been directly authored within our CMS. Previously, I mean, at the beginning of our collaboration with Lab Learning, indeed there was PDFs, but we directly onboard the teams to use our CMS suites to build the content and generate responsive content containing multimedia assets, question sets, etc., distributed over the web reader.
Yeah, yeah, and a little bit of context for your question. Um, we have, or rather, GT provides a couple different products. One is a CMS that we use as a content management system into which we can pass through PDFs into this web reader. And so that middle option that I showed is a static PDF. Um, Version. So you've got those pages, they are specifically static versions. Into that CMS, we do have some capacity to do transformation into a responsive format, like the content that's being shown here. This content is responsive by design, so it's authored within GTCMS. And then the first set of content, that course as well, was authored within the CMS's authoring system. So we have the ability to pass through responsive EPUB files, to pass through static PDF files, display those within the reader, and make sure that learners have all of those read, explore, learn opportunities, no matter which format the content comes from. Got another question in. Does GT plan on implementing any type of AI study buddy in their web reader, and i.e. an LLM contained in the actual content that can be used to ask questions and help students better understand hard concepts?
So yes, this is definitely something that we are looking forward. But one of the big questions we ask ourselves is about content security and how we can manage actually to deliver right answers to the students. So this is something that we are looking at. So not necessarily to have a chatbot, even though this is something that we are aiming to provide. We also thinking about generating a set of study tools like you want to create actually a study guide on a specific topic, and it will collect all the informations from the source content with the right citation from the content, and then produce you flashcards or question sets that you can train you on. So this is something that we are looking at, and we're also looking at the costs of those and how we can actually manage that for our publishers.
Can older editions be deleted from the library? And so, yes, with the web reader and the way that we distribute content to these readers, you can recall at any time older versions, or you can update new versions. And so the next time a learner opens that content, they'll receive the new version live, or you can recall and it'll be removed from users' libraries. The other way to manage that is by revoking specific access or providing specific access to authenticated users. So yes, you've got the control of what's being delivered, and you have the control of what is no longer being delivered, as we know that sometimes contracts change, updates come out or you want to retire products, you don't have them living in perpetuity when it's not in your business interest to do so. We have space here for some other questions that are coming through. Um, Ramon, can you talk a little bit about how we got some of the student and learner feedback that we got when developing this and some of the other competitive insights we had gathered?
Yes, of course. First, during the design phase, the discovery phase, actually we conducted several test groups with publishers we are working with, both on the higher ed and some on the K-12 side. And then from there, we did some iterative design process. And then as soon that we have been able to start having live content, we run through various group testing, user testing. We had also the opportunity to collaborate with an institute, the Pratt Institute, that diligently manage full test scenarios with a group of 20 different users. We addressed their feedback, we asked them other questions, and then improved directly what could be improved. And parking other ideas that we want to leverage for later. One thing that has been also at the heart of the production of this reader is the scalability. Something that you might know is that actually this reader is used by 6 to 7 million users. So actually, we had also a lot of work by creating some solid foundations that can actually manage the charge when we are in full rush, when the school is starting back, etc. So lots of work that's been done also on the scalability, so that whatever the content, whatever the number of people that are connecting at the same time, we manage the charge and we deliver quickly the content to the end user.
Yes, that scalability is absolutely key. As Roman mentioned, we have 6 to 7 million concurrent users at a given point. We want to make sure that we can support even more than that. And so I believe that the baseline testing is for 3 to 5 times that amount of users. With this,
Correct.
we've been able to also bring those efficiencies. One question that's come through is what types of distribution channels does your CMS support? And so our CMS supports distributing to the reader, mobile. This reader, which we're showing here, is the web browser version or the mobile browser version. We also have Android and iOS mobile app distribution available. And then we have some distribution channels such as LTI 1.3 or LTI Advantage into LMSs. We have distribution via packages, so we can create IMSCC cartridges, SCORM packages, etc., EPUBs to deliver into other spaces as well. So our CMS really does have run the gamut of availability and distribution capacity. We've got a couple more questions and 3 more minutes here. Uh, so the question, Ramon, could PDFs with existing fill-in fields be converted to this format as well?
We did a test back in the day, and yes, this is not something that we are actually necessarily looking at specifically, but would be eager to do some testing with you guys. Regarding embedded assessment, so we do have solutions to produce question sets and assessments directly from our CMS, but we do have as well the capability to integrate and to embed other external activities that actually the content development team can build with other tools. So we did some successful integrations with, for example, Learnosity and other systems. But we do provide question set editors directly built in our product that is built for accessibility and responsivity. And we have also another way of creating activity using AI. And so we have built-in what we call learning activity that are way more rich and a little bit gamified. And those are maybe the one that you were observing some slower lag time. But this is definitely something that we are currently addressing. We are providing those as beta and they will be go full production ready very soon.
So that is the product demo we wanted to share. We're very excited to bring this to our web reader customers as a white label distribution for the GTCMS and for all of your content. So if you're interested in learning more, seeing maybe your content in this environment, we would be happy to schedule a demo to walk through, or if any of these other features look interesting and we want to leverage them for you, let us know. GT is always available.
Thanks,
Excellent.
everybody.
And have a great rest of your Tuesday.